Well, it's been a few weeks now that I've been daily driving the brand new reMarkable Paper Pro Move. And I have some thoughts on this more compact version of the reMarkable Paper Pro. Now, if you have not watched my reMarkable Paper Pro reviews and hands-on videos, you should do that first before you watch this video, because if I'm being honest, a lot of what I liked and disliked about the Paper Pro is still the same here on this product, because theoretically, this is reMarkable's shrunk down version of that e-ink tablet. So right out of the gate, let's talk about what the Paper Pro Move does that is the same as the reMarkable Paper Pro, and what those pros and cons still are, because again, the devices are very similar in terms of functionality. Just like the Paper Pro Move has that e-ink display that can reproduce some colors. It is still that same limited gamut and range of colors. They are still more muted, not necessarily vivid, bright colors, but that's not necessarily a terrible thing. If you are just looking for a device to highlight or sketch, this is more than capable of doing that. Just like the Paper Pro, the Move also has that great front light, so you can use it in a dimly lit environment. You can use it at night. You can use it to read in bed without having your lights on around you or a lamp on. This is very helpful, and this is one of my favorite improvements over the old reMarkable 2 that I had, because it just allows for more use cases than not. And that's a great thing. That's still here, still works just the same as on the Paper Pro. And like the Paper Pro, the Move has the same brand new upgraded pens, the markers, that have more tactility, more accuracy, and charge when mounted to the side of the devices. These newer devices, the Paper Pro and the Move, do have slightly more accurate writing, shading, etc. Also, I do prefer the way that these marker tips are structured and built. They are much longer lasting. I've had a very long run with my first two sets of marker tips on my reMarkable Paper Pro, and I'm still on the first one on the Move. They just last a heck of a lot longer than they did on the reMarkable 2. A welcome change, whether you get the basic marker, which I did get on my Move, or the Marker Plus, which I have on my Paper Pro. They work just as well. The only change off and trade-off, I should say, is that eraser tip on the Marker Plus, which allows you to erase right on screen without having to go to the toolbar and select the eraser and then select the area to erase. If you want to best replicate the writing experience of paper with these devices, you will want that Marker Plus. If you can survive with just the standard marker, you save a little bit of money. It's not the end of the world either way. They both work just as well in terms of writing experience and sketching and drawing go. And while the Paper Pro and Paper Pro Move both have the same great display tech, that glare-free e-ink display, this is where the two devices diverge in approach. The Paper Pro is the full-size paper experience, whereas the Move is the notebook, the portable, ultra-compact sketchbook, if you will, for taking notes on the go. The Move is a 7.3-inch display, 1696 by 954 at 264 pixels per inch, whereas the Paper Pro is an 11.8-inch color display at 2160 by 1620 with 229 pixels per inch. In addition to the difference in size, naturally there's a difference in weight. This only weighs 230 grams, where again the Paper Pro is about double that at 525 grams. So again, the Paper Pro is a true reproduction of an A4 piece of paper. This is closer to a halvesies of one of those. Maybe you want something more compact like this. This is very reminiscent of the notebooks that I used to carry around with me at my day job all the time, whereas the Paper Pro and the reMarkable 2 before that were larger in scale, but I came to like them just as much. I think it's two different applications for two different sets of people, depending on what you want to use these for. But just know, this device also comes with some other trade-offs that aren't as obvious if you just look at what reMarkable was putting out in their marketing material. So yes, the smaller form factor might be the right fit for you, but you must also be aware that the battery capacity of this device is different. And although reMarkable is trying to make it sound like this device will last as long as the Paper Pro will, let me tell you right now, that is not the case. Like I said at the start of the video, I've been using this device every single day at my day job and in the evenings at home for weeks. I'm approaching 1 month of daily use now, and I have yet to surpass 1 week of continuous use without needing to charge the Paper Pro Move. This is completely contradictory to the 2 weeks plus that reMarkable is advertising on their website. And although they also say the Paper Pro full size would get about 2 weeks of battery life, I actually found that device to be getting 2.5 to 3 weeks of battery life. So I actually was expecting battery life to be better based on the estimates provided by reMarkable, but I was unfortunately disappointed to find that it's significantly worse. I also take issue with a couple of other things on the Paper Pro Move that are not present on the reMarkable Paper Pro. First, the build and fit and finish and feeling of the Move versus the Paper Pro is not the same. The Paper Pro Move has like a rubberized, kind of textured back on it, which some people who watched my initial hands-on and unboxing video said was done to promote it being easier to hold in the hand. Well, I'm not gonna lie, if you've ever used the Paper Pro, or you've ever held the Paper Pro, that device, even though it's a full aluminum frame front to back, is not exactly hard to keep in the hand. It's quite comfortable and it's extremely thin. And yes, it is about twice the weight of the Paper Pro Move, but 500 grams is still very easy to wield in hand. I've never had a problem or felt like I'm going to drop my Paper Pro, nor do I feel that way with the Move, of course, because it's so much lighter. But I just can't understand why, considering the price difference between these two sets of devices is not that significant, why they just didn't continue that aluminum complete frame on the Move. It is a little disappointing. Yes, most people are going to put it in a folio or a case or something, and you won't ever be able to tell. But it's the principle of, again, that cost versus design trade-off. Considering it's half the size, you'd think maybe it would be half the price, but it's not. And considering that, the feeling of it being a little bit more cheap is disappointing. There is no getting around it. And again, like I said in my initial hands-on video, I still take issue with how reMarkable is promoting the Move as a pocketable device. It is not pocketable unless you are wearing very, very baggy pants or you want to put this in your back pocket. I wear jeans, quite stretchy jeans at that, from Mott & Bow. Those jeans have a lot of give to them, but believe me, I cannot fit the Paper Pro Move in its folio case in my front pocket. Back pocket, no problem, but I would not trust this device to stand up if you sat on it while it was in your back pocket. So while you can theoretically move around with it in a back pocket, I think this device is best suited for going in a messenger bag or slipping inside a jacket pocket, not pants pockets. So please, reMarkable, move away from that kind of marketing. It is just, in my opinion, a little bit misleading. There's also some software limitations that still exist, at least at this point, about a month from the release of the Move, that you might want to be aware of if you're considering buying one of these devices. First, the reMarkable Methods templates. I brought this up in my initial hands-on video. I have yet to see templates that are scaled to the screen dimensions of this device, specifically for the Move. While you can absolutely go and grab any template you want from the Method store and install it on the Paper Pro Move, everything is scaled down to fit because it is so much smaller, and these templates are built for the reMarkable Paper Pro and reMarkable 2. And on the flip side of that, if you happen to own more than one reMarkable device, as I currently do, when you take notes on the reMarkable Paper Pro Move and go to the desktop app or to the Paper Pro or the reMarkable 2, the notes only fill about this much of the screen. It's completely centered in the screen. You'd have to zoom in on the larger screen resolutions to have it fit the screen the same way. And this actually, if I'm being honest, kind of threw me a little bit when I started using the Move every day, because the writing experience feels a little bit different because you're writing at a different scale than you would be on a Paper Pro, reMarkable 2, and if you happen to have documents that were made on larger reMarkable that you then port over and open on the Move, you are going to have to zoom to get that same experience. Now, this may not be an issue for 90% of people who buy the Move, because again, if you're just buying one reMarkable device and that's it, then you aren't going to notice this change in aspect ratio, except for when you use those templates. Just something to be aware of, especially if this is not your only reMarkable device. Now, it is definitely not all bad news on the Move. There are some improvements that I've found over the Paper Pro, which, even though it is similar in a lot of ways, there are some benefits to the smaller screen size. Primarily the higher density, pixel density on the screen, so things do look a little bit sharper. But also I feel like because of the scaled down screen and the fact that it still has the guts of a device that is twice the size, it does feel a little bit snappier to navigate and interact with the elements, switch tools. It just feels more responsive, which is not really something that I've cared much about on the reMarkable Paper Pro because of the limited scope of its functionality, but it is nice to use this day to day because it just feels a little bit quicker, a little bit more nimble on its feet than that larger device does. I also find that the bleed from the front light is far better on the Paper Pro Move than it is on the Paper Pro. The Paper Pro, when you turn the light up to maximum brightness, it just bleeds out all over the edges. It looks quite cheap, if I'm being honest with you, for the price point of that product. It's much better contained here on the Move, even at full brightness, and it just looks so good. I just wish that turning that light on didn't absolutely destroy the battery life of this otherwise nice looking screen. So ultimately then, what do I think about the Paper Pro Move? Well, like I said, there are some things that are exactly the same as its bigger brother, the Paper Pro. So if you've been eyeing the Paper Pro, but it's maybe a bit out of reach from a budget perspective, this could be a way to get 90% of that functionality just in a more compact footprint. But keep in mind that there are some new limitations and restrictions that come with owning this smaller device. And if I'm being completely honest, my biggest issue with the Move versus the Paper Pro is there isn't enough to differentiate these two devices, in my opinion, especially not when you look at the price difference between them. Right now in Canada, the Paper Pro Move is $729 with a basic marker. It gets a bit more expensive if you upgrade to the Marker Plus. And of course, you're going to want to add a book folio to protect your Paper Pro Move, which is going to add even more to the price. All said and done, for my Paper Pro Move with the basic marker and my polymer weave book folio, which does look quite nice and feels really good in the hand, it was an $800 order out the door. However, that's only $200 less than the full-fledged Paper Pro. Right now, that device is 929 Canadian dollars. You add on a case, you add on a marker, and you are at a grand total of $1,129. You can get a device that's twice the size, so you can use twice as much screen real estate at a time. You don't have to be pinching and zooming nearly as often to read and explore and navigate your documents because you can just see it all on device at the same time. And your battery life is going to be significantly better. So for me, while I've enjoyed using the Move and it's fast, it's more responsive, and it looks really good, the screen is great, all of those things are still true on the Paper Pro, but the battery life, in my experience, is 2.5 to 3 times better. Why not just buy the Paper Pro if you're really looking at a device like this? The only reason that I can think of is that you really need a super compact e-ink device like this. But then, let's not forget there are other players in the space, like the Books and the Supernote, which are just far more cost-effective than the Move. Now on the flip side, if you're looking at a reMarkable 2, the Paper Pro Move packs a heck of a lot more functionality than the reMarkable 2 does. You get the front light, the color display, the more accurate marker, and the price difference there, again, is pretty small. So actually, if you're looking at a reMarkable 2, but could live with the smaller screen, the Move is more of a natural stepping up stone for those customers than people who might be looking at the Paper Pro. So while I enjoy it and I like it, I really wish the battery life was better, especially since that's the whole selling feature. The whole reason people buy e-ink devices like this is to take advantage of the endless, almost endless battery life experience. And you just don't get it right now with the Paper Pro Move. And just like I said, over a year ago now, when I first tested the Paper Pro, the hardware is at a point where it is far outpacing what the software can do. And I know reMarkable is all about minimalism and keeping you organized so you can concentrate and get stuff done. But I really don't think it would kill reMarkable or their thesis to incorporate some simple productivity tools like a calculator or a basic calendar or even a basic to-do system. Yes, you can get templates like that using methods, but do you know what you lose when you do that is the syncing capability. The device can already sync with Drive and Dropbox. it would just be a natural step to be able to sync calendar, just get a little bit more function out of a device that's costing you $1,000. So I don't know if that helps you make a decision about whether or not to buy a Paper Pro Move or not. Or maybe this entices you to buy one over a reMarkable 2, or maybe it convinces you to just buy the full-fledged Paper Pro. It's a good device, it's a fun device, I enjoy using it, it helps me feel productive, it helps me feel organized, but I still find myself just looking for more, especially considering how darn expensive this product really is. But as always, what do you guys think of the reMarkable Paper Pro Move? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you sticking with the reMarkable device you have now? Or are you going to buy another? Let's have a conversation as always down in the comments below, and I will leave links to all of my other reMarkable videos in the description as well. And if you are interested, my reMarkable Masterclass is almost here. If you want to take advantage of super early bird pricing, it'll be the first pinned comment down below and available by clicking a link in the description. Thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon in the next video.